Hello everybody.
Hi.
My name is Darren.
I'm Graham.
And I've seen the film Starred Up.
Yes, you have.
It was really good.
I've never heard... I've heard of it. I've seen the trailers, but I've never seen it.
I recommend it.
I'm curious to know if you'd liked it.
I did.
Is that why you recommend it?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's about
What is
a
it about?
kid played by Jack O'Connor or Connell. I don't research these things. And he goes, the kid for, you know what I'm talking about. He goes to prison for some reason, and his dad is in prison, and his dad is played by Ben Mendelsohn. And it's sort of about the kid going through prison in this sort. I mean, only it's not over the course of decades or anything. So, you know, a confined time period. Oh, you know, usual. Oh, how long was he in prison for?
Yeah.
Oh, good while. And yeah, so it's about kind of him having to sort of survive, and also the weird bond that him and his dad have.
Weird.
Well, I mean, they're both in prison, so that's not normal.
I suppose. Is it weirder than your bond with your dad?
No. Because at least they've got something in common.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, true. So yeah, so it was really good. The performances by the two were very, very good.
I imagine they would be.
Why?
I don't know anything about Jack O'Connor.
Let's call him Jack, because I don't know.
Jack.
I hate it when people call celebrities by their first name, but I don't know his second name.
So call him Jackie O.
Oh yeah, so Jackie O is he's in This Is England briefly. He's in Harry Brown briefly. I think he's the guy that Harry Brown is torturing when Michael Caine forgets how many knees people have. And he's got him tied up. He's like, I'm going to shoot you in the knee, then I'm going to shoot you in the other knee, then I'm going to do that over and over again until you tell me. You think we've just got two knees, Michael. You're going to do it twice. But yeah, so he's that guy. But he's
cool. And
the dad is Ben Mendelsohn, who is every scummy, horrible-looking person you've seen in a film over the last 5 years.
Rent a scumbag.
Yeah, he does it very well. He was in Animal Kingdom as the scummy psychopath. He was in Place Beyond the Pines as the scummy thief guy. He was in...
Killing Them Softly?
Yes, as the really scummy
Walking his
thief.
dogs.
Yeah. And he was in Dark Knight Rises briefly as the scummy guy. I haven't watched that film in ages. Was he a bank manager or something? A banker or an accountant or someone sort of corrupt person who Bane was working with? Anyway,
was he?
Yeah, do you not remember him?
No.
Yeah, I think Bane may have killed him, broke his neck or something.
Fair enough. It's the kind of thing Bane would do.
No, not Bane. So yeah, it's just really good. I really enjoyed it.
So what was the good bits?
The performances from those two.
And the story?
Yes, the story, I mean, any kind of prison thing, well, you're looking at, depending on which way you go, we'll go into the sort of life in prison in a movie way, which is Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, Clockwork Orange is relevant, or Green Mile type thing.
Okay.
Or you go the other way, where it's gritty and vaguely realistic, which is obviously Scum, and it's more towards Scum than a Clockwork Orange. Than Shawshank Redemption. And it's not as good as Scum, obviously, because Scum kind of, you know, defined what a gritty prison movie should be. The Clockwork Orange thing comes in because they're trying in therapy with him. There's like this weird thing where there's like a psychologist, psychotherapist, I don't know what the hell they are, counsellor, whatever, in the prison, who really wants to help them with his new kind of therapizing thing, which is obviously a bit like a Clockwork Orange where they're trying to condition him. I mean, it goes a bit better in a Clockwork Orange than it does here. But I didn't get the therapy guy because, A, he already said in the film he didn't get paid to be there, he's just doing it for
his own research.
Well, yeah, he says, because I need to be here, and he comes out with some guff about having been to boarding school, and that being a bit like this sort of conditioning of prison, you know, with its own society, I suppose.
So he's getting his own kind of therapy through...
Well, yeah, but then he gets a bit too into the Jack Connor, whatever name, character, where, like, the high-up people are, like, always kicking off, get him out, and then, like, the therapist guy's freaking out, like, no, I need him, that kind of thing. And you think, why? Why do you need him that badly?
Coming back.
Yeah. So that was a bit strange.
So it was too intense.
That character was. I just didn't know his motivation, really. It's like, fine, you can relate to someone in prison because you went to boarding school, but why are you so obsessed with this one guy? Yeah. And then the people at the very top are proper cliched, horrible prison guard type people.
Right.
You know, like the guy in Shawshank Redemption. Like a cross between Bob Gunton from the Shawshank Redemption, the boss, and Clancy Brown, who's the psycho security guard. And that's kind of a problem, really, in that on the one hand, it wants to be a gritty movie, but on the other hand, it wants to have a movie story. So, so the end is really kind of... I liked the end, but it didn't work. Like, it became a movie, if you know what I mean. Like, it started to, like, run, like, it started to follow a story about conspiracies and blah, 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 and, you know, and all that kind of thing. You just think, oh, I don't really buy any of this. But you kind of stay with it, because the two performances by Ben Mendelsohn and Jack, whatever his name is, are really good and strong.
Is it them who start like uncovering stuff and like?
No.
Okay, good.
No. It's yeah. It's well, I can't say, can I? It's the end. It's just there's a
Right.
level of corruption there which I would hope is completely unbelievable, and the way that the corruption is dealt with is definitely unbelievable. Which is fine if I'm just watching a normal movie
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I've already suspended my disbelief. But when you've worked so hard to make it vaguely realistic for the first hour and 20 minutes, to then have the last 20 minutes go off into this kind of other territory, you kind of think like, oh, I don't really buy this. I buy those two characters, but I don't buy what's happening to them.
The rules are set up and then they kind of break them, sort of thing.
Yeah, by being a bit too... It's kind of like in Harry Brown, how it starts off with him as an old man in a council house or whatever he is.
Yeah.
And then it ends up as like a giant riot western, but you kind of go with it a bit more with that because it does it a bit more, subtly.
It's a smoother arc, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. With this, it's not. It's just, it's this film. Whoop, now it's this film.
Right, I see.
But Ben Mendelsohn's amazing, as ever.
Mm-hmm.
He does a Cockney accent, which I'm pretty sure becomes Australian a couple times.
Right, I'm sure it would. To be
Yeah,
fair.
but that's fine because he's still amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what else to say really than it's a film worth watching just for its characters. You thought that it looked laddie.
Yeah, you get like Football Factory, Green Street,
Yeah,
and
it's
all that
nothing
in
like
your
that.
head.
I mean, I haven't seen Football Factory, but I hate Green Street.
So
you think it's going from what you've seen of the trailers?
Some trailers, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the impression I get.
That it's going to be a film where sort of scummy laddie type people relate to the main character and think, oh, he's a hero.
Yeah.
It's
Like
not
it
that.
kind of glorifies violence for no reason, almost, And
No, it's more
just
about
thugs kind of leading their own way around the place, and
yeah, because Green Street is about trying to imply some sort of or apply some sort of code of honor to these scumbags,
Right.
whereas this film, like Scum, is more about trying to show how people become the scumbags by sort of getting into I mean, prison's not the best place to solve someone being a criminal, by sticking them in with a load of criminals where they might get knifed to death every 3 seconds. And it kind of, with obviously him being the son of somebody who's in prison, sort of hints towards it being a combination of nature and nurture.
Yeah, right.
So yes,
So it actually hints on some intelligent kind of themes.
well, it's an intelligent
Or
film.
tries.
It doesn't judge necessarily the main characters, so it's not trying to glamorize them.
Yeah.
But it's humanizing them, so it's not sort of saying these are bad people.
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't bad people, but there's a reason. They're
There's
not,
moments of sympathy, but they are to blame themselves, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Did you feel sympathetic towards their
The main
issues?
guy?
Yeah.
Definitely the main guy, because he has a hell of a time. It's full of.
Does he not bring it on himself, though, being...
Well, yeah. There's a bit that made me laugh where they're in this therapy session, and they're all always on edge. Like if anyone,
Right.
it's like a bunch
anyone
of Joe
moves.
Pesci's in a room, all accusing each other of saying, "I'm funny." How?
Stop laughing,
You
yeah.
just think, you can't say anything without somebody kicking off.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, who'd want to be like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I say really horrible things to you. You don't try and stab me for it.
Not yet, it's getting there.
I can't really give examples of the terrible things I've said to you, but I'd
No,
like to.
I hope you wouldn't.
No. But they don't say anything because they were talking about each other's mums. Okay.
Okay, all
and I
right,
think
all right,
one of
all
them
right.
says, "I shagged your mum," and they freak out and I just think, "Is that it? Is that all he
That's
said?"
all it takes.
Flippin' heck.
Yeah.
Use your imagination, boys. That's a cliched one to say.
I know, yeah.
Anyway, so
Say that
yeah,
about myself, just to disarm you.
you say that you shagged your own mum.
Just to disarm you, yeah. Just to...
Does disarm me? Just did.
But then you just always one up it anyway, so... Like the one we talked about earlier. It was particularly graphic and horrible.
When I was talking about how I suspected you'd been conceived.
Yeah, the 2 methods. Forget about it. Let's just move on.
See, that's what the therapist guy was trying to teach them to do. To go forget about it, let's move on.
Right, okay, yeah. Even though you're standing there giving it to me going like, oh, it's off.
Anyway, so it's a really good film. I
Good.
recommend you check it out.
Do you?
Yes.
Is there nothing better I could watch?
Well,
kind of
yes,
in
obviously you
in
haven't
that
seen
same,
everything ever.
In that same kind of area.
Well, Scum, if
what's
you've
it
not
like?
seen Scum.
Oh, I haven't seen Scum.
Haven't you?
No,
Oh.
I saw it once when I was a kid. I told you that.
So you have seen Scum.
I don't know it. I don't remember it.
Okay, well watch Scum, obviously, just because you should see Scum.
Yeah.
But if you find yourself with a spare sort of hour and 40, then you could do a lot worse than this because this is good. You wouldn't finish this and feel it was rubbish.
Right.
Have you got anything else you want to ask?
Yes.
Go on.
Is there a lot of violence? Actual
Yes.
violence, like
Yeah.
physical, and is it done quite well?
Yeah.
It's not kind of gratuitous, so there's
No,
like
it's not
lots of
gratuitous,
blood.
but
and-
it's gritty. No, it's not like 300 where somebody gets shivved and suddenly it's like splurting everywhere, which would
Yeah.
probably happen to be first. That wouldn't be gratuitous.
Is it
But
anything like Bronson kind of thing, where is
there's
it some
bits
kind
that
of
remind me of
elaborate-
Bronson where he pisses off the security guards, runs straight to his room and lubes himself up.
Yeah, it's
It's
amazing.
not quite as funny as Bronson though.
No.
Yeah. Where the guy like phones him up, like, "What are your demands?" He hadn't thought that far ahead.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
"What have you got?
What have you got?
What have you got?"
Awesome. Fair enough then. I do like a bit of then. I do like a bit of the old ultraviolence.
Is he in out, in out?
Yeah. Yes. Well, wouldn't that have been
with your mum apparently? All right. Bye everyone.
Yeah.